All right. We are back with another edition of the Other League Pod. Sny, good to have you back. We are finally coordinating schedules so we can get a little pre-Thanksgiving pod out to the league. And yeah, normally on Thanksgiving Eve, I mean, call it 15 years ago, I'd be pre-gaming right now, getting ready to go out. But we're sitting here doing another league pod.
Dude, totally. It was Blackout Wednesday for a time is what they isn't that what they called it? But yeah,
I
man,
don't know. I think
wild
it's like,
times going home and just like partying like we're in college at our hometown. What
yeah, I
what
mean,
yeah.
I think this is
What
the biggest, got to be the biggest drinking night, one of the biggest
yeah.
drinking nights
Oh
of the
yeah.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, man. But we got 2 weeks left of the regular season. We're gearing up for Thanksgiving games, which I mean,
Ton of them.
yeah, really, really strong slate of games tomorrow.
I was going to get into it, but yeah, that honestly, I
Yeah,
can't think of a better three-game schedule for Thanksgiving in a
yeah,
while. I mean,
it's been a
there's some good.
while.
It's three tomorrow, right? Yeah, it has to be
Yep,
three tomorrow. Yeah.
yep,
Well, let's get into the
yeah,
league. I mean, we're gonna shake it up a little bit this week. I mean, given the holiday, I think there's so many games coming, coming tomorrow, and I think the Eagles are 3 o'clock on against the Bears on Friday, so there's a lot
yep,
to look forward to. So I think we should just maybe we're gonna skip ahead and not maybe necessarily do the recaps, maybe kind of look at team outlooks. We got 2 weeks left of the regular season. Um, and managers have a lot to be thankful. Well, more than some, but we have some things to be thankful for this year. And I think we're gonna kind of run down the teams maybe and see what worked out, what didn't so far. I mean, there's still 2 weeks left, but have a pretty good outlook on most teams, I would say at this point. Barring some some injuries or some health stuff. But let's get into it. Let's have fun.
hell yeah, man. Yeah, we did. I think we give like a thing, like you said, to look forward to, and then we'll do what each team should be thankful for. And it could be a
Yeah,
player, it could be a storyline, it could be whatever.
let's start with this son of a bitch, Rick, just on an absolute tear of late. Yeah, I think what's a 4 game win streak. I was looking at it before we got on here.
Hmm.
He's boasting the longest win streak of the league right now, and takes him into first place. He is now solidified, the only guy so far, or only team, I should say,
Yep.
to lock in a playoff spot. Must feel nice for Mr. Ship Lizard there, especially as a defending champ. His team's rolling, and
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, team's rolling with like Lamar Jackson not looking like Lamar Jackson, which is kind of interesting to say that.
Hmm. It's been, I mean, his team continues to roll and he's got Lamar not, like you said, not doing what he should be doing. He's also coming off a couple the down Jonathan Taylor weeks. I know he had the 40-point game in
Yep.
in,
Yep.
in Germany, but like week before that, I think he was at like 10, week before that, or week after that, he was at 8 last week. Like
7. Yeah. Yeah.
7 last week. Yeah, yeah. So like, coming off some down performances, like the Colts offense as a whole is kind of like sputtering along. His schedule's brutal.
Yeah.
Um,
I was just looking at that.
coming up.
Houston this week. Damn, that's a tough
Yeah.
one.
And the Colts, like their team as a whole, like their hold on the AFC South is like real dubious at this point, with Houston playing well and Davis Mills
Hmm.
kind of steadying the ship. Jacksonville, don't watch them because Trevor Lawrence, you don't want to watch Trevor Lawrence play, but
Find
they
ways to
got them
win.
twice. They got them twice. And like, so yeah,
Good
but I
defense too.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, Rick's team, I mean, he's top to bottom got a good roster. And then who knows with Gentsy's injury, do they,
Yeah.
do they start to, you know, take some of the massive work that he's been getting off of his plate with this as they kind of sputter along? But yeah, we'll see. But I mean, Rick's got a good team. He's going to be a tough out because um, I like his roster, his starting roster, top to bottom. And if those guys do like figure it out and they start to get the work that they, or at least the points that they've been getting that we've come to see, then yeah, his team's gonna be a tough out.
Yeah, kind of going into it, I mean, when you draft a quarterback pretty early, I mean, especially with those top guys, like, there's I would say positions usually, that are you're gonna sacrifice for, right? So you got Kittle in the fold. Kind of the glaring weakness, at least going from post draft, I thought was like receivers, right? Devontae Smith solid. Tebow Samuel, okay. Stephon Diggs, we didn't really know. But the guy that I really want to highlight here, I saw a crazy stat and I saved it. It was on Underdog NFL.
Yeah. Oh
They
yeah.
put this out. Wan'Dale Robinson this season has more receiving yards than Devontae Smith, Chris Olave, Roma Dunze, T. Higgins, DK Metcalf, AJ Brown. He has more catches than Drake London, Lad McConkey, Emeka Buka, Nico Collins, and Jalen Waddle. And he has more touchdowns than CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, and Brian Thomas Jr. Wan'Dale Robinson, unbelievable plug
Un
and play player.
He's the 44th overall player.
It's insane. It's insane.
He is
Yeah.
insane. And I know like it's pretty funny. Well, Wandale, like he's been fantasy relevant before. Like he was like the
Sure.
ultimate PPR scam last year where he was just getting like 9 catches for like 40 yards. But like he's like playing more downfield this year. He's in a contract year also. So like I think he's gonna get paid by the Giants. Like I don't know why they wouldn't keep him. And like
Got it.
he's like transformed his game. He's like winning balls downfield. Like good for Wandale, man, and good for Rick for like, you know, did he pick him up or did he draft Wandale? Did he just pick him up?
I gotta assume he picked him up after the
I
Neighbors
actually don't
injury, I'm
know.
guessing. Yeah, I don't know either. We have to scroll back or maybe I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
Rick
yeah.
can probably fill us in when we get to we get the pod
Right,
out. He's usually pretty
right,
responsive. But
right.
I mean, even we'll see when Jackson Dart comes back because obviously with Jameis just throwing it all over the map, I mean it's
Yep.
certainly playing into a pretty nice, at least the last couple weeks. Maybe not necessarily against the Packers, but I mean he had Wando Robinson had like 15 at halftime against Detroit this past weekend. So
Yeah.
guy put up a 30 spot. So yeah, just kind of going through some of the roster spots, and I'm like, you know what? That's really honestly all he needs is some of these fill-in guys. I mean, George Kittle, I think arguably still a top 5 player probably in that position. Lamar, you got to expect at some point, to he's not going to have. I think what does he have 0 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks, which is like
Last two
unheard
games,
of.
yeah, 0 touchdowns.
So I mean, and great matchup against Cincinnati. I mean, they're playing for the division. They're playing for the playoff spot. So I mean, yeah, I do think obviously that hamstring injury is certainly still hindering them. But when you get Jonathan Taylor, even though he's got a tough matchup, yet you sprinkle in these couple of guys in there. It's pretty easy to get to a 115, 120 mark, which seems to be this year more than anything almost a shoe in for a win. I mean, look at last week. I think there was only
Right.
3 teams that got to 120 or more.
Yeah.
And the week before that was even lower in point totals, which it's been a weird couple weeks here, and just in terms of scoring. But yeah, I mean, if anything, I mean, I mean, Jonathan Taylor was a second round pick, right? I mean,
Yep.
so I guess if you're my give thanks player for Ship Blizzard would probably be him. But Wanda Robinson, if you picked him off the waiver, I mean, he's arguably, I mean, 44th ranked, like you just mentioned. I mean, who the hell thought Wanda Robinson was even going to be remotely relevant in fantasy? And he's a set it and forget it player, I think, at this point.
I certainly didn't. I know Rick, outside of Wandale, going back to Jonathan Taylor, I think he should be thankful for Phil. He should be thankful for Nils, and he should be thankful for Logan for not taking Jonathan Taylor because there were two
Good
running
point.
backs taken before Jonathan Taylor. One was Phil taking Kyron Williams, he's been pretty solid.
Solid, yeah,
But Logan taking Amari and Hampton, who it sucks with the injury in hindsight,
yeah.
like obvious, but yeah, man. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, he's a top 5 pick next year, easy.
He
So
might be he might be the offensive player of the year potentially this
yeah,
year.
yeah.
So
It's
yeah,
probably him and JSN probably a two-person race, but like
yeah,
yeah,
that's
man.
fair.
But we'll see. I mean, we've seen the thing with Taylor though, like we've seen him toward the end of the year and come like
Yep,
week like 14 through 17, like he just historically has like dominated. So
yeah,
yeah, you got Jonathan Taylor in the playoffs, man. Like I said, you're gonna be a tough out. So
yeah. That's it. It's a good take. I mean, yeah, Rick's. It's I keep harping on it probably because I'm the only one that has repeated. So I mean, it's nice to have that little nugget to throw in every now and again, at least for the 12-man league. But he's got a good of a chance as any in terms of repeat, just from a roster standpoint. Yeah, he's humming. He's got
oh yeah.
four wins in a row, and hey, only one manager gets to buy this, in this format that we now have. So it's gonna be
With
interesting.
yeah, yeah, and this might go into. we can probably like I think segue into my team
Good.
because I was thinking the other night this matchup with Rick that I have this week and you know
Yeah.
we'll get a little bit into it is actually massive
Huge.
because one you get it's for the one seed currently and realistically and um whoever gets the one seed then potentially may not draw Ryan in the first round, and
Sure.
you know he's got McCaffrey. He can put up 150. So it's just some things like seeding. I think is really important. Um,
Good point.
you know, no doubt. But at least this year with like the teams that potentially could get a 7 seed, um, who would play the second seed, I think you know is something to consider. But yeah, a huge matchup this week for me. But my team,
Looking good.
we are looking good. We're coming off 2 down weeks where we got some. I I don't consider any win a cheap win, but these were not. You know, these were more
Sure.
wins that I got because my opponent failed to score points. But you know, we're still putting up 100. I do think that because and I had T Mac in my lineup 2 weeks ago when he went off
Yeah.
for a while. So if I had kept him in, I put up 130, so it looks a little different. But I mean, I feel good about my team. My matchups this week are not the
Should.
best on paper, but I think they're in good environments where I think there's going to be a lot of points. Um,
Got a hell of a Thursday coming to you tomorrow. I'll tell you that. You
I
got
have four
everybody.
players. I have 5 players going tomorrow.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah,
Yeah,
your entire lineup will be pretty much done after
yeah,
well before the Thursday night game. Yeah, we got pretty
yeah,
much all Packers
uh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
Cowboys.
We're hoping to get up. We're hoping to get around 90 tomorrow. I think that is
That's
a
doable.
good mark to be at before Sunday. But I mean, I like my team like top to bottom. I like where my bench is at. The what I am thankful for,
Yeah, it's me.
I'm thankful for Jacoby Brissett because
You should
Jacoby
be.
Brissett has unlocked Trey McBride's touchdown scoring.
Yeah, he's been a beast.
And Trey McBride has been so massive for my
Six
team, and I
touchdowns in the last
he's
7 games.
scoring
Yeah,
now that at a rate I never even considered. Like when I traded for Trey McBride, I assumed he was going to have Kyler the whole year,
sure.
and then when Brissett came in, I
Yeah,
Brissett started in week 6, and
I
that's
was
when
gonna say it's like
McBride took
right
over.
around here. Yep, I was
Yep,
gonna say makes
that's when
sense. Yep,
McBride took off, and he's
he's been awesome.
been he I don't know what like the actual number is, but like McBride on the season is like he's like a top 5 receiver is like his
Yeah, I mean,
like points per game. He's like scoring like a top 5 receiver, I
this is
think,
just
or
these are just
maybe
like
top 10. Like
overall.
it's close.
This is overall players. He's 21. This is including quarterbacks. So that's a
Yeah,
pretty insane
yeah.
stat line. I
I
mean,
mean,
I have him in my one league too, and it's non PPR, so I don't even enjoy all the receptions. But
right.
I mean, just been dialed into watching like, or at least tracking him, and like, dude, Jacoby Brissett only throw literally half of his throws are toward like to him, like, which I
His
mean, rightfully so. He's a beast.
he's
He's
a
great.
machine. He's a
Yeah,
machine. His last 5 his games with Jacoby Brissett, his target numbers 11, 13, 9, 13, 11, 10. And the
yeah,
catches in those games 8, 10, 5, 9, 10, 9. And
yeah.
in only one he didn't score.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I
So
would
I'm
say thank Nils too, because overall, that's and not that on
I
paper it looked like a bad trade, but I mean, I would say in hindsight now, it's like, damn, he gave up a lot
it
just to get
it
Nico Collins.
yeah, and that I mean it obviously sucks with Scatabo.
That's
That
true. That is
yeah,
true.
that really sucks because
Actually, that's a good
Scatabo
point. That's a good point. I forgot he
he
was in the
well
trade.
in Scatabo like when he like Nils like he gave Nils a 30-point week. So like that
Well,
that
he was playing well. Yeah,
yeah, that's such a bummer. I admittedly was looking back on that and I should have included Waddle instead of Brian Thomas because that was a consideration. I think Nils was more willing to give away Thomas in fairness, but
yeah.
probably should have pushed a little harder for Waddle, but I didn't expect Lawrence to be that bad going back to Trevor Lawrence. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, super thankful for Brissett. He's got to be. I mean, he's not going to lose his job outside of injury the rest of the year. I think the Cardinals are just kind of like ride this out, and I don't think there's any way that Kyler's going to play again this year.
Yeah. No, I mean I mean they put him on the IR for a reason. I mean, hey,
Right.
we'll put you on the back burner. We'll figure out what we're doing with you in the offseason because I don't think he stays in
Yep.
Arizona, but we'll
No.
see.
No.
Um
Hot take, and we can get into this in the offseason. Doesn't Kyler just feel like a saint? Doesn't he
there's
just feel like
I
the team to go to Kellen Moore because they never draft a first round quarterback and they're going to draft like the edge rusher from Miami and just sign Kyler to compete with Shuck?
Yeah, somebody there's another podcast I was listening to and they said like essentially along the same things. They were talking about Trey McBride and just the volume of passes that I mean Jacoby Brissett's throwing like 40 passes a game. It's insane. But
He has, sorry, I'm sorry. He has an NFL
God,
record of
yeah,
47 completions. His jersey
yeah,
is in the Hall
two
of
weeks
Fame
ago.
because he had 47
Yeah.
completions one game. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was
Good
that
for
Seattle
Jacoby
game.
Brissett.
Yeah,
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 good for
that's
Jacoby Brissett, man.
so they were saying the same thing, like, what would be the next, like, where's Kyler gonna go? And
Yeah,
someone brought up the Jets, and then that got kind of put down, just saying like
yeah,
they're not gonna get another running quarterback after the Fields experiment. And
right.
then someone mentioned the Saints, and I'm like, damn, that's a great that like I think that's a great fit. I mean, just in
Me
terms of
too.
like where they have you got to figure out the running back situation, and Kamara, the tires are kicked on him, but
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, the only thing is like they're kind of in cap hell, but we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I would say
Well,
that I think Javonte Williams, even though he's been
oh
kind
yeah.
of progressing, just
Oh
where you
yeah, we
got
should
him,
bring up
and
Javante. I mean, Javante is my early keeper option. I got him in the 11th round, so
got to give him thanks.
I assume he comes back to Dallas. He's a free agent, but I
Yeah,
assume they're gonna re-sign him. But yeah,
got him. Got,
Javante's been a monster. He's been a little down the last 3 weeks. He
yeah,
still gets a shit ton of volume. So like,
getting rushes.
it's not something where I'm like, oh, maybe like someone else is taking over. He's just not scoring. So
They're throwing it. I mean,
yeah,
and they're winning.
yeah,
So I mean, I do
right,
think tough matchup this week with Kansas City. They're not usually an easy team to run on, but
yep.
um, I mean, yeah, I mean, high powered offense. I think they're the number one scoring offense
And
in the
I,
league.
yeah. And I will say, I think their defense playing better actually will keep them in a lot more games. So they won't have such
Definitely.
negative game script to need to throw all the time,
Yeah, that's a good point.
as much as they have been. So, yeah, I mean, I love Javante. He's been a monster for me. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. I
Your
think we
team
can, yeah, we
team
can
looks
move
good.
on to, yeah, we can move on to Phil's team. It's just kind of
Phil
treading
treading
water,
water.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just gonna say that. He's finding ways to, I mean, hey, he got a nice, got back in the win column. I think he had maybe like two or three game losing streak before last week. So
Yeah.
probably nice for him to, breathe a sigh of relief a little bit to get a W. But yeah, just overall, I mean, I was kind of going through a little bit just to like who this one he's one of the managers I look at each roster that I'm like it's kind of hard to say like who he should be thankful for. Like obviously be thankful for Bijan, but he kept him. So like he's been great. He's averaging like 20 a game. So, it's on a pretty
Yeah.
up and down Atlanta team. But I mean, overall, like, there's nobody that like, I mean, I guess Swift a little bit, but just because, I
But yeah, I
didn't know necessarily what to get, with the new Ben Johnson offense. Kind of figured they were
right,
gonna kind of lean on him a little bit, but he hasn't really. I mean, last week was a pretty rough week. I don't know
right,
what he did last week, but
right.
yeah, I knew he had a tough week last week. But yeah, it's
Yeah,
tough. I mean, I don't know who to pick for Phil.
I mean, I think you should be thankful for Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
He's,
I like
I
that pick
mean,
actually.
yeah, I mean, Hurts. He's the eighth overall player. He had a monster game last week. He had two down weeks before that, but like he,
Yeah.
I think now that Saquon's not scoring the volume of long runs he is. I mean,
Hmm.
they're still tush pushing hurt. He had the game against Detroit where that was ugly game, but like coming down
Yeah.
the stretch, like I think the Eagles offense can actually start like rolling a little bit. I mean, they got Chicago, then they got the chart at the Chargers, which
Las
I know
Vegas.
it says 30th against quarterbacks. I don't for someone like Hurts, I don't necessarily view that as like a down like a tough matchup. Like I think they're going to score.
Yep.
Then he's got Vegas in freaking Washington, and then he's at Buffalo, which it'll be cold, but like I think there's going to be points scored. So like
Yeah.
Hurts has he's like quietly low key been just a monster for Phil because Bijan, while he's been awesome, I don't
Also Downs.
know. He's been, yeah, he hasn't been like the number one overall player that I think he would have been taken as if Phil didn't keep him.
It's
So
true. Yep.
I just feel, yeah, I think Hurts has been, and I know like Phil loves having Jalen Hurts, but um, yeah, it's wild that an 8-4 team who is like close in, he's
Yeah.
in the top four in points scored is starting Khalil Shakir and Troy Franklin as his receivers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like it's actually like wild to me. And he's been piecing it together with like Keenan Allen because Evans has been out. I actually thought Phil would have maybe like traded DeAndre Swift for like a receiver at one point, but I don't know, neither
Yeah.
here nor there. But it is wild that Phil gets like timely performances from like Khalil Shakir last week where he gets 17 and like
Monster. Yeah.
yeah. So I mean that's just the way it rolls, and that's like you know
That's the
like
fantasy
that's
luck. Yeah. I
yeah
mean,
yeah.
there's certainly lucky
Franklin's had big
matchups.
games. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, Jalen Hurts, I think he took him in the third because we picked right around each other. And I
yep,
remember thinking to myself, I don't usually take a quarterback early, but Hurts was somebody that I was definitely intrigued by. And like when he picked him, I'm like, all
yep,
right, kind of back to the drawing board. But yeah, that's a good
yep,
pick. I think yeah, if there's a player that I would pick, I would say that's probably his. Jalen Hurts has
yeah,
been his rock for sure.
yep.
The Goose, I mean,
Hmm.
he's got a couple guys that we could talk about, but yeah, he's got a good team. I mean, now Marvin Harrison kind of coming back in the fold. We saw what
We'll see. Yeah.
I had a front row seat to Michael Wilson freaking putting up all kinds of points on me last week. So
I
going
mean,
back to Jacoby
dude,
Brissett,
get Jacoby Brissett, man.
yeah, guy chucks it, man. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
tough to watch. Every other throw it was McBride Wilson. So yeah, it was tough watching that, especially when you think there's like, oh, okay, Michael Wilson, he had one good week. Like, can he do it again? No, he did. The volume's there,
No, he
but
did.
yeah, he's got a solid team too. I mean, Cortland Sutton's probably not been great. The Cortland Sutton of past just because of Denver kind of just finding ways to win, but not necessarily like been an explosive offense by any means. But when you got Jahmyr Gibbs and Jackson Smith and Jigba, those are arguably the two best players in the NFL this year, outside
Yeah.
of CMC. So I mean, yeah,
Yep.
Jackson Smith. I said in the text. I mean, I don't vest a lot of time in watching Seattle, but
Hmm.
they were part of my quad box last week because I had Kenneth Walker. Obviously, I wanted to see what's going on. I mean, this guy is not huge. He's like 6 feet, what, 6 feet one, maybe? I
He's
mean,
like
or six
six
foot
one,
one.
200 pounds.
Yeah, and maybe I'm like, it seems redundant because I feel like we definitely talked about his like frame before, maybe, but I mean, the guy is just a beast. He is open every time. Like he's like me and Ben were talking like maybe not necessarily as like fast or explosive, but like reminds me of his footwork like Antonio Brown, like just off the line, just kind of glides. Like nobody can stay with him. He's always open. It's impressive. It really is impressive because like they have nobody else they throw the ball to.
He's the smoothest receiver I've seen, and like he like
Awesome.
at least this he is that, and that's like honestly the word I can describe. He is smooth as shit, and he is always open. Like
Look at these stats.
that one-handed catch that he had along the sideline, I
That
was it
was
in the
awesome.
Rams game? The
Yeah.
Rams game where he just plucked it, but like he transferred it into his other hand, and it was just like the smoothest catch. He's just always open, man, and like his like the way he wins, like he's not like herky jerky like Jerry Judy is when he runs. Like he's so deceptive with little shit like head fakes and like when he looks back and like stutters. Dude, I mean, he's a machine, man. And
I mean,
like
he set the franchise record in 12 games. I mean, it's in
he's on pace to break the
2000.
all-time single season record.
Yeah.
Like, and he legit like it's like I don't think this is like a Cooper Cup situation where he's just like oh, he's just like getting like so much volume and like 16 targets every week, but like, dude, he's just unstoppable. So
I mean,
I hope
he's
he
put up
does it,
100
man. It's
yards.
it's been so much fun. Like that deep connection he has with Darnold is wild. So
Yeah, I mean, home run pick. I mean, goes without saying, obviously, just based off his stats and what he's been doing. But like, he got him in the second. I'm thinking, right? At JSN, he didn't
he
fall to the
took
third, did
he
he?
took JSN in the third.
Jesus, what a
He
steal!
took he took it. He took Gibbs in the
Oh yeah,
first. He took Harrison in the second,
Harrison second.
and
Yeah,
then he
yep, you're right.
took JSN in the third. Um,
Incredible
yeah,
people.
man. I mean, yeah, for sure. I
And
mean,
then
JS.
Gibbs, like,
Speaking of top five picks, but like, yeah, I mean, yeah, go into Gibbs because he's also like this
I
is why
mean,
this is why I legit think Aaron's team is super dangerous, just because he has like two or three players that can just like win you a week.
I don't think I've seen a 55-point week since I had Jamal Charles with like that 6 touchdown game, which was like a
Oh yeah,
playoff
yeah,
game. I think he
yep.
actually put up like 60 points. That it was like it was a different league, but
Mm-hmm.
I just remember like I've
Was,
never seen a
was
running
it
back get to 50.
was that against the Raiders that one game? He had
It
like
was like a
three like 70-yard touchdowns.
yeah, it was insane. Like, and
Yeah.
I just remember I was going against one of my college roommates, Tim, and it just like every other play, it was like Jamal Charles was bust, and that was basically last week against the Giants. I mean,
Hmm.
as
Yeah.
a Packers fan, I'm like, all right, Detroit is potentially going to lose this game. Like they're down
Oh
10 with
yeah.
like not much time left. And sure enough, like one play later, Jameer Gibbs is just running a 60-yard, touchdown in, and there's no time left, like basically no time elapsed off the clock. So it was inevitable
Yep.
they're going to choke that game away. But yeah, I mean the
Yeah.
guy's, and kudos to, it put Anthony in not I wouldn't say a tough spot because obviously like Saquon falls to you, you're taking Saquon, right? Like, and Anthony already had the CMC woes, if you want to call it. So can't knock him there. But
I get passing on CMC after last year.
yeah, so like I get it, but like like to Aaron, like Aaron doesn't pull the homer pick at all and just goes Gibbs there like in that spot, like home run pick, man.
Love it.
This guy's. I mean, they said Jonathan Taylor had one run that was like faster or recorded faster than Jameer Gibbs, but Jameer Gibbs has like two, three, four, and five, like something ridiculous like that. I mean, he's the most explosive player
Insane.
in the
Yeah.
NFL. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yep. Yep.
So
Totally
yeah,
agree. And I do think this for Gibbs is kind of like here to stay. I don't think because we've seen Gibbs have like massive games in the past, like obviously not the 55 pointer, but like then it was always kind of like, oh, the Lions are kind of in like positive game scripts. So like David Montgomery's gonna get like,
yeah,
16 carries. Like I don't now that Dan Campbell's kind of taken over play calling, like he just leans into his dudes.
you
So,
nailed it. Yeah, I was gonna say so
you know,
they have changed drastically since like week I don't know 4 or 5 I think is when Dan Campbell, or maybe it was a little bit later, but um
I think it was like week 8
was
or
it
like
okay?
week
Yeah, because
9
I
maybe.
know
Yeah.
leading up to, I mean, obviously the Packers play Detroit, and that's one of the the highlight points is that Dan Campbell's calling the game. I mean, it's going to be a different game script because he's a little bit more aggressive, obviously,
Yep.
and he's Jameson. I mean, you have one of their players, and they're finally dialing him up a little bit more. I mean, he didn't obviously a dud
Yep.
last week, but they're certainly finding ways to get their playmakers the ball and not necessarily say like, okay, we're just going to split it, and Gibbs deserves
Right.
it. He's a tank, but yeah, it's not a, like you said, Aaron's got those two guys you can win any week.
Yeah, and he's got a good roster because I like the construction that he has, where he
Yeah,
has like his stud wide receiver one, he has his stud RB1. Like just to touch on Travis Etienne,
yeah. Please go back.
Etienne's actually been really solid this year. He's been like a
Oops.
rock steady running back too, and then you just kind of piece in, your wide receiver two if Harrison comes back and can kind of eat into what Michael Wilson's doing, and then if Jackson Dart's healthy, like
Yeah,
he's
Etienne's been
always
great.
live for touchdowns. Like, we don't have to discuss Cortland Sutton. I think the
No,
Broncos are one of the most boring good teams to watch. It's brutal watching that offense. But
no.
yeah,
Good, yeah, good.
Aaron's got a good team, man.
It's a good point on Etienne. I think Liam Cohen coming in and what they did with Bucky Irvin and that run game, obviously in Tampa,
Oh
like
yeah,
I think a lot of people probably had some stock in Tank Bigsby a little bit probably coming into
I
the
took
year.
I took him in the 8th round.
Yeah, which makes, I mean, not a crazy, not a crazy gamble. I thought,
Yeah.
maybe that was, kind of the passing of the torch a little bit in terms of where they were going. But yeah, ETNs have a little bit of renaissance this year for sure.
Yep.
The
Yep.
bastards put a nice week on me, put a little spanking on me. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of rounding into a formidable team for sure, especially with some of these
Hmm.
guys getting healthier.
Yep.
Um, Still going to, there's just we kind of noted it. I just there is some holes, I think, a little bit just from like that third wide receiver spot for him. I mean, Olave, we'll see. I mean, I didn't realize he actually got a little banged up last week. I mean, he's just been kind of a PPR cheat code, like we mentioned, kind of in the past. Just
Yep.
not, I mean, 4 touchdowns, yeah, but I mean, look, I mean, he's getting peppered really, and he's getting double digits every week for him. So that's on a bad team. That's pretty nice.
Yeah. And he,
Now
I
there's
mean, he's
Hampton.
just kind of steadying the ship. Like he's the only show in town there. And,
Yeah,
Shuck has, I was admittedly was never a fan of Tyler Shuck, even when he was drafted. I always thought he was, but I mean, he's at least can sling it. And, he's probably not like a long-term starter, but he's at least steadying the ship for Olave. So I mean, Logan's team's so high variance. I feel like,
yeah,
I mean,
yep.
who knows what we're going to get with Hampton? I assume he's playing.
I mean, they opened his window. I think he practiced today. I mean, I didn't get much
I
updates,
bet
but
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not super invested in that because I'm not playing the doll, but like, man, when they open practice windows that week, they normally sit.
I agree.
So,
Yeah, yep. I mean
um,
that's going to be a big play for him, even if
yeah,
okay, he skips this week or whatever. I mean, which is a tough week tough week not to have necessarily a true, really another. I mean, I guess Harvey or
you can play
Mark's not,
Harvey.
yeah,
Yeah,
not a horrible play on either end there, I guess. But yeah, I
right.
do think that's those couple spots against a good team is going to be tough. I mean, Puka Nacua has been great, just not really getting in the end zone. I mean, Devontae's gobbling up everything from the one, which is
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah,
I think my give thanks player to him would be James Cook. I
agree.
I know he's had a couple dud weeks, which I think Buffalo just kind of do for those. Like, I don't know, for whatever reason every year I feel like Buffalo just has some losses. I mean, that you just are like, how the heck did Buffalo lose that game? A couple weeks ago when they lost to who the hell they lose to? Well, Houston this past week, but Miami.
Oh,
That was a game.
they lost in Miami. They looked
Yeah,
awful.
yeah, they looked embarrassingly bad. But I think the
Yeah,
touchdown regression talk all summer, like, kind of scary. Like, I could have kept James Cook in three, but I, obviously didn't.
right.
I think he went in three, and
He
he's
did.
been a rock. He's been a rock for
Yeah,
Logue. I
he's
feel like
awesome.
overall. I mean,
He's he's
he's a stud.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so funny because like the whole discourse the off season, um, I think where his ADP was like I just and maybe this is like a sticky note that we have to like put on our computers before we get to draft time, but like there's so many different things where it's like, oh, James Cook, he had so many touchdowns. He's obviously going to have the other side of touchdown variance. Because, yeah, what did he have? Like 16 touchdowns last year?
Yeah,
Something like
he
that.
he went off
So,
last year. Yeah,
so like,
it was something crazy like that. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like he had like 60, whatever total touchdowns, but like, it doesn't mean he's going to score five. Like he might score like 12 or 13 and still
Got,
be awesome.
got nine
And
already.
James Cook, like he has a knack for breaking long runs, which, you
True.
know, that he was an awesome pick. He wasn't on my radar in the third round. Um,
I didn't want to
that
keep him.
much. So like kudos to Lowe for taking him because he was massively underrated coming into this year. Um, and then like thankful, I mean, it always comes back to Jacoby Brissett. So thankful for
Yeah.
Jacoby Brissett with Michael Wilson.
Yeah. I mean,
Who
the last, what, 2 weeks? I mean, at least the last
let's
two
give
weeks.
him
I mean,
some flowers, man, because low key, and I'm not like low key. I love receivers who I think are good players that don't necessarily break out. That's why I love Alec Pierce so much because I feel like he's such a good receiver. He just never
sure.
gets talked about. Same with Michael Wilson, was always kind of just like there.
Yep.
And it's awesome that like he's, we'll see what happens when Harrison comes back. But like I don't know how you put it back in the bottle. Like Michael
No,
Wilson's like gotta get targets because he wins.
he's been, yeah. I mean, again, watching that game, I mean, first game I probably watched a are invested a good amount of time watching the Arizona Cardinals of all teams. But I mean, every other throw was to him or McBride, and I'm like, and he was
Hmm.
always open. I mean, look,
Yeah,
he has 33 targets in the last 2 weeks. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean,
it's
the guy's
nuts.
the guy's
Nuts.
tearing it up. So I mean, yeah, you got to hit on a couple of those, especially Logue.
Yep.
He took some flyers as we mentioned throughout a number of episodes of the pod, but maybe not necessarily all of them panned out. So yeah, these ones help, especially when you're balancing a team with
Yep.
Puka, Cook, and Brock Bowers. You know what I mean? So I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
he's in the hunt. Will say, you know, another team with some variance to it. So I mean, we'll see what happens here in the next 2 weeks. He's got a tough matchup. We'll get to that in a few minutes here
A little bit.
after we run
Yeah.
through it. But yeah, I would say yeah, James Cook. I overlooked him. He's a good player.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fink, it's not a just kind of a disappointing year for Fink again. I mean, he's in the hunt. Can't knock him for that. I mean, Saquon's been rough. He's had a few injuries, obviously. I mean, Burrow coming back is an interesting play for him. I don't know necessarily what to
Yeah. Is
think
he
of that.
starting him?
Not yet. I mean, I just worked with him too. I didn't really ask him. I mean, maybe for the first week, I think that's probably smart. I mean, Herbert plays Vegas, so I mean, maybe just see how Joe Burrow looks instead of get pissed off by Thursday and for
Yeah.
some reason he gets hurt or who knows. I mean, they're playing Baltimore, which isn't a great defense, but he's I'm still shocked that he's playing, to be honest with you, this year.
Same.
But
Same.
I guess
Same.
they want to roll him out. I mean,
I th-
I don't think they have any chance to do anything, right? I mean, they're basically eliminated.
I think they have to run the table. And
Okay.
get help. And get help.
For the
But
division, right?
I don't know if they can win the division. Um, well,
I
no, I
think that's
shouldn't
their
say
only
that.
way
Never
they
mind.
I think that's probably the only way they
Yeah.
can get in.
Well, hold on. Now sorry,
Because
I
the
need to look
AFC,
this
go
up
ahead.
now.
Yeah, please do. Because the AFC, I think the AFC record wise is pretty stacked.
So
The Chiefs are on the outside looking in.
the Bengals are 3-8. Um, they would have to run the table to go 9-8, and they and the Ravens, right, and Steelers are both 6-5. So they would basically need to,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah. So I think, I mean, yeah, you're probably right that their only way is to win the division.
I think
Um,
so. Thanks in the AFC for sure, especially with that record. I mean, 9-8 is not
yeah.
going to get you in the wild
I
card. Well, they
I
could, I
think
guess, but
yeah, I think if Burrow had like a shoulder injury, or if he had like a knee, or like a something else, maybe he wouldn't rush back.
yeah, just
But
the
I mean,
foot,
for like a toe injury, yeah, like a foot injury,
toe.
maybe like
That's
if he
true.
has like
Yeah,
a little setback, like then it's kind of like, all right, he's got all off season, so we'll see what we can do. But and same like for Burrow, like he's a competitor. He obviously wants to play. And how do you tell Burrow, no, sorry, with 5 games left, you're gonna be out the season? Like,
yeah, it's
you
true.
know,
Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, we'll see.
and
I think.
Ant's
Go ahead.
been, I was gonna say Ant's been, kind of again, kind of treading water a little bit, as we said, a few managers. I mean, he's 7-5. It's a good record for sure. I mean, he's in that
Yep.
he's in that spot right now that we're kind of a few teams are chasing, and just in terms of that, what is he, four right now? I think he's or fifth, maybe.
He
No,
is
sixth. I'm sorry,
6.
sixth. Yeah, sixth.
Yeah,
So he's on
he's
record. Yep,
yeah, he's the team. He's the 7-5 team with the lowest amount of points. So
yep.
he's gonna need a couple big weeks here. Um,
I mean, I think you got to be thankful for Rico Dowdle. Um,
ooh, yeah,
Now, just because I mean he kept Chuba, which I thought was a good keeper. To be honest with you, I was
same.
like
Yeah,
Chuba in
same.
like the 12th. I mean, it was pretty late.
Hmm.
Whatever it was, and like I don't know if he drafted Rico. I'm pretty sure he just picked him up on
He
waivers.
no, he drafted Rico. He can
Did
keep
he?
Rico. Yeah,
Great, great, great
got him in the
handcuff
11.
draft.
I think he got him in like the 14th round. To be honest, let me look this up. Hold on.
Yeah,
I think I was looking at it the other day. I think he took him in like the
it's impressive because
he got him like real late.
yeah, I mean, I got to
Uh,
say because that's really the only guy that I look at his team and I'm like that are like that's
four,
actually like
yeah, round
14.
14. Yeah.
That's like overperforming or overperformed because like everyone else has kind of been a downer, which kind of sucks to say. But I mean, at the same time, fantasy's a little bit lucky. I mean, Anthony with all the injuries and guys that kind of not really necessarily like performing to what their maybe expectations were. Like he's 7-5 and he's right in the thick of it and can easily
Yep.
make the playoffs. His team's not bad, but he's got Garrett Wilson out. He's got had
Yeah.
Joe Burrow out. Tucker Kraft's out for the year.
Tucker
Um,
Craft, man.
that was a great pick.
I
Yeah,
think Tucker Craft would have
yeah,
potentially could have challenged McBride. Sort
definitely,
of.
100%.
But I think he could have challenged McBride as the overall tight end one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know on sheer volume, but yeah, I mean his run after the catch is unbelievable. Tucker
Yeah,
Kraft,
he's a
the guy
monster.
just never goes down. But yeah, I
Yeah, he's a
mean, hey,
monster.
Anthony's he's in the hunt. If
Yep.
Saquon Barkley somehow just figures out how to like not get hit, 1 yard after contact, essentially, I mean, it's been crazy. He just cannot find any space. But
Yeah.
those few times where he gets past the line and it's just a safety or like even a cornerback that has to tackle him. Good luck. Those
Yeah.
are the plays that we saw last year, and he's just not. The offensive line is just not giving him that opportunity this year, unfortunately.
Yeah. No. And I think maybe he could, but I do think like they're when if Lane Johnson gets back, that just helps
True.
everything. So
Yeah,
yeah, we'll see on Ant's team. I mean, he's
I love it.
well, yeah. Well, he's just right in the mix.
Yeah. Well, let's go to Green Ball. It's been a
Yeah.
been a disappointing few weeks here from the wide receiver room. The JJ McCarthy experiment, I'll call it, has not panned out well for me, and kind of knew that keeping Justin Jefferson, but just
Hasn't
with some
panned
of
out
the
well
out.
for anyone.
No, no, it hasn't. No, it hasn't, and it's been when those as I the first handful of weeks. I mean, I'm getting 60 points out of my three receivers. Yeah, my team was looking great. I mean, that's kind of where I needed to get most of my points from. Happy to pick up Matt Stafford.
Oh,
Got him on a waiver pickup and got the guy. He might win MVP. I mean, the guy's been an absolute stud. And they're
yeah.
just letting him just throw. I mean, it's McVay's a hell of a coach, and he's just Stafford's feeling it. Let's let him throw. I mean, they're on the 1 and 2 yard line, and okay, quick out here. We're gonna go hit Devontae. Quick slant, Devontae. I mean, it's been they don't even think about running the ball right now just because he's so hot. And I think he has like something crazy. It was like 20 touchdowns and like zero picks in the last like 6 or 7. I mean, something ridiculous like that.
Sounds right.
He has like 2 picks all year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's nuts.
30 touchdowns, two. I mean, it's insane. He's playing out of his mind. He's playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
And it's nice. I mean, 17, whatever, but it's nice to like not have to worry about that, like with Jordan Love, because the Packers are very run heavy. And even as a homer, I always wanted to kind of play him, but now it's I set it and forget it. I don't even think about taking Stafford out of the lineup. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it's wish I had Devontae partner up there, but adversely, I'd
Sure.
say. I mean, Amon Russ, it's tough not to be thankful for him. I mean, it sucks that I got to go watch him, play against my team tomorrow night, but he's been awesome. I mean, I got him in the
Yeah.
second round. I mean, nobody for some reason wanted to take him in the first, and I mean, the
Wild.
guy just goes off every week. I mean, it's
Wild that he actually fell out of the first round.
yeah. I mean, one dud. He made 12 targets against the Eagles. I mean, it's kind of a weird game, obviously, with golf, and for some reason the guy can't throw in the cold. But it's yeah, he's been awesome. I mean, I wish Jefferson would pick it up, and then the Tampa things. I mean, I'm in a little bit of a conundrum here with some must-win games. We'll get to the matchups, but I got Mecca Buka without Baker. It's not looking great.
Yeah.
I mean, I got some other options, but I gotta pull the trigger if I'm going to because I got Watson tomorrow night, and we'll get into it. When we get to the matchups, but I got Watson tomorrow if I want to play him or DJ Moore, who's you never know, and they're playing the Eagles, so.
Right.
Yeah, some tough decisions coming up, but yeah, I still think if everything hits on a certain week, especially with my receivers, I'm a tough out. I mean, my running backs are solid, not great, but
Yep.
overall, it comes down to those guys. If I don't get 60 plus points from my receivers, I'm barely getting to the century mark.
Yeah. I mean, going into back to Amon Ra being thankful, I think you can be thankful that Detroit's road games outside are over.
Yes,
They
I
don't
did see
play
that.
outside the rest of the season. And like you alluded to, Jared Goff with his tiny hands, Doesn't like throwing in the cold, but he's
No
got Green
hands.
Bay at home, then he's Dallas at home, then he's in the Rams in the dome, then he's got Pittsburgh at home, then he's in Minnesota in the dome.
Yep.
So
That's nice. Yeah.
yeah, so you got that sort of in your back pocket. So yeah, man. I mean, it's you got two steady RB2s. Jalen Warren kind of moonlights as an RB1 every
Every now
third
and again.
week. Um,
Need Rogers
I
back.
think yeah. So yeah, I mean,
It's
like
a good
it's
team. Not a great
yeah,
team.
you got a good team, and it's one of those things where it's like there's just so many teams that are like in the middle
Yeah.
that I think literally like any variance of things can happen where it can just sway, or it's like someone has a down week, or like there's like an injury to someone's offensive line that just caters their running game, like that.
Yeah.
Those unforeseen things can happen. But yeah, we'll get to let's move to Nils's team.
Yeah. Another 6-6 team. Um, yeah. I mean, you know, decent team. I mean, kind of looking at, everyone's roster. I mean, you're right. That Scottaboo injury definitely sucks. Kind of looking at it
Sucks.
now.
God, it
Um,
sucks.
because I mean that just leaves such a glaring hole in his running back spot outside
Yeah, it
of
sucks.
Achan. So yeah, it's tough. I mean, otherwise, I would say a solid team overall. I mean,
Sure.
Ricky Pearsall's probably not necessarily been, kind of what we might have thought coming into it. I mean, I thought this was going to be that like sophomore year where he's going to come in and like, especially with the IU situation going on and some of the injuries they have had, but probably that just really hasn't panned out overall for him just in the year. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, 1 and 2. He has to play him, I guess. Um,
Yeah, or
but I
QJ.
mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's an okay team again. You know what I mean? And like, you just gotta matchups every week and game script, like you said. I mean, it's tough to kind of rely on like Nico Collins and Jalen Waddle every week. Just because like the variance is so high with those guys. It's which is kind of odd to say, but it's true.
Yeah.
And Achan's been Achan. I got to say that. I mean, the guy's been stud.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's definitely thankful for Achan. He's so fun to watch. And he, can win you a week in the way that Gibbs can. Um,
Oh yeah.
so yeah, I mean, it's like the same with those. I kind of view him in a little bit lesser tier in the middle.
Mm,
I, with Nico, like he he's been very frustrating to watch as someone who doesn't have him anymore because I love Nico Collins.
sure.
He's actually been pretty solid 2 of the last 3 weeks, but like
A couple
man,
pops. Yeah.
there's just still something off about that offense. Like 3 targets last week. I think that he'll get it right this week, but again, he's got Sauce Gardner this week, so
It's true.
who knows? But yeah, I mean, I think Nils is another team that if he gets into the playoffs, like he could, you know, 2 of his 3 guys or, 4 of his
Jack
guys
striking it.
can kind of carry his team. So yeah, he's we'll see. But Pearsall in the Cleveland outside in Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't love that, but I
Yeah.
mean, Higgins is out, so I guess that's kind of I don't know. I mean, maybe go the double tight end. We'll get to that in the matchups, I guess. But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
we'll see.
yeah.
I'm thinking Arby's. Who would have thought he's got a shot to make the playoffs? But yeah, he's finding ways to plug and play. I mean, some of the guys that he put some stock into are panning out. I mean, Trevion Henderson, he's come to life a little bit.
Yeah,
Finally, they're finally letting the guy run a little bit, and the Ramondre Stevenson, it didn't. Unfortunately, it only had to come down to him getting hurt, not necessarily him fumbling every freaking game. It felt like
yeah,
for the guy to get some run. I mean, and he looks explosive. I don't know if he's necessarily going to be. His frame doesn't blow me away in the sense that like I think he can be an every down back.
who
Um,
Henderson?
Henderson, yeah, like you just I see some of the things. I mean, he's explosive. I'm not saying that the guy's quick. I mean, he had a couple of those runs, when he had that 3 touchdown game where it's like, all right, I can see why the hype was there, in preseason, but I don't think necessarily like he they need to have a two back system if you're gonna incorporate him, which not the worst thing.
Yeah,
Because he can catch passes, certainly can bust one, wide open for sure. But yeah, I mean it's got to feel nice for Arby's to be able to finally play the guy and not necessarily feel like when's the week that I can put this guy in my lineup. So
Right.
yeah, that's nice to see.
Yeah, there were a few weeks where Ben was struggling to find some um RBs to play. I mean, he was messing with the Cardinals backs for a while.
Yep.
Um yeah, it's been pretty rough. But I mean, I think he's thankful for two quarterbacks, one that's on his team and one that's not on his team. I think he's thankful for Drake May,
Oh yeah.
who is probably the other MVP favorite outside of Stafford, I would say.
Crazy to
Um
say that, but it's true. Yeah.
we yeah, yeah. Um
Drake May's like the
as
third.
as a Jets fan, it's very frustrating. They went from Brady to the Patriots had a
Sixth.
bad year, drafted Drake May, and are now like on track to win the AFC East. So that's fun.
They might be the number one
Um,
seed in the AFC this year.
it's fucking crazy. But yeah, Drake May has been a monster, and I think the other person he's got to be thankful for is Joe Flacco, who has
Hell yeah.
totally steadied the ship for Jamar Chase, who looked his season looked doomed when Jake Browning
And
came in for week 3 and 4.
and Chase
And
Brown's popped up a little bit the last couple
yeah,
weeks.
yeah, yeah. So
He's
I mean, and
seen
now
he's been
Burrow's
active.
back. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe
There
Ben's
you go.
team can kind of get right here. His wide receiver two spot is with Metcalf, who I will say he took over JSN. He
Bad.
so and I know there was no ranking that I saw um that had and I'm not trying to bust Ben's balls too much, but there was no ranking I saw that had DK Metcalf over JSN.
No,
So
and I don't. I mean, and he's not even rostered anymore. But I mean, Matthew Golden in five. Yeah,
yeesh. And I have
that's
his
tough.
fourth round pick in Pacheco.
Yes, yeah. So I mean, it's tough. Things got away from the guy during the draft. I'll say that.
He's
But yeah,
yeah,
he's in the hunt. He's in the hunt.
he's right there.
He is in
And
the
he's
hunt.
got and he's got Devin Neal. So maybe Devin Neal will
Yeah,
volume his way to but that's what you're doing when you're playing, third string running backs from the beginning of the season that are now getting opportunity. That's just like what you do. I'm starting Devin Neal in my work league. So yeah,
damn, I didn't even
we'll
see
move
this.
on.
He scooped Terry McLaurin. Tiburon. Okay, all right, interesting. Yeah,
Is
that
he
was
is he back?
I don't know, but I mean that was definitely like a hate drop from Andy. I feel like when you were dealing with the Commanders injuries like for I mean several weeks, and then it was just like, well, after that elbow injury, I think he was just like, yeah, I'm just dropping everybody and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I gotta say, it doesn't go without saying CMC obviously falling to him at 5 or 6, I think, in the first round. Um,
Sixth overall, I believe.
couldn't
No,
couldn't
fifth.
have,
Fifth.
fifth, I think, yeah, couldn't have been an easier
Yep.
pick for him, just in terms of like what was available, I guess. And I mean, he
Yep.
has been dominant. Um, I mean, what is he averaging? 20, 26, 27, something
He's
ridiculous.
yeah,
Let's see. Let's say it's up
he's
here.
yeah, he's on pace for like
26.
four. It is insane looking back at like I think Ryan should be thankful for preseason silly narratives that
100%.
were in the draft process with everyone freaking out that CMC and like I get it, he's coming off like an injury. Everyone like was hesitant to draft him. But
He's gonna have 2,000 yards and 100 catches this year.
man, I feel like everyone just forgot that if he's healthy, he's going to be like the number one player because he
So
just gets
good.
so much volume and he does everything. I think Ryan can also be thankful for the narrative that everyone was skeptical to put George Pickens as a top 10 receiver
I was
because
just gonna say that.
he's the second receiver on his team. And I think we do this every year. We did it with T. Higgins 2 years ago when everyone was like, oh, he's not the number one. So we got to rank him as like the wide receiver 18 or whatever. But like, no, their offense is going to throw enough that they can support two top 10 receivers. And Pickens has been better than CeeDee Lamb, like on a point per game
Yeah,
basis.
he looks
Um,
better than CeeDee Lamb too. CeeDee Lamb's got some like demons. I don't know how he's dropping those balls, but
He's
I
kind
don't
of
know.
he's kind of got the Brian Thomas yips, and I don't like it. Um,
Get right. I'll go. Not going back to CeeDee.
yeah,
I think it's a get right spot this week.
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like he's gonna be
I
like,
agree.
give me the rock. But yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
you're right
agree.
though. I think George
And
Pickens, maybe
and
the
with Devon,
attitude too.
yeah, And trading with Devontae, the same. I know he got Devontae in a different way, but like similar to Devontae, he fell in the draft process because everyone's like, I don't know, he's a second
I love taking
receiver,
him in the third.
and you got him in the third round. Like, man, it's wild all these narratives. But like, I think Ryan also should be thankful that he has as many points as he has because he's 5-7, and I'll tell you, his team is one team I don't want to play in the playoffs.
100%, 100%. How could you? I mean,
I don't
from
want to
top
play
to
his team in the playoffs.
nobody wants, and like I'm the last guy that wants to give credit to Ryan because it
Yeah.
immediately balloons his thought process of like how good of a manager he is, and like no knock on Ryan. Obviously, I love the guy, but the other thankful thing that, and even though it's kind of been hot or cold, but I mean, he just came off of 6 touchdowns. Is like, his weak spot, which
Yeah.
I want to finally get on the pod to talk about. Like, Steve, I mean, you're telling me you did your due diligence with every manager, and the best you could have done on Josh Allen was Lad McConkey, who has been
Send a
most
text to the group and say, I am looking to trade
correct.
Josh Allen. Send me your offers.
I mean, he's one of the receivers, especially an early round receiver. I think he was. I mean, Lad was kept, I guess, right?
No, Lad was taken in the second round.
Okay, okay. I was just gonna say. Well, I was gonna say his value was reported as a second round receiver. Some leagues would
Yep.
have got maybe bumped up to even potentially a late first, but
Yep.
he's been super disappointing. Maybe just based off of the rise of Keenan Allen and for a couple of weeks there Quinton Johnson, but you trade some Josh Allen, and I'm like, if there was one chink in the armor of Tiburon was that he had
Yeah.
to play the quarterback carousel. I mean, he was playing Caleb Williams and God knows who every week, and kind of rotating guys.
I think he played Justin Fields one week.
He did,
Did he
yeah, he
maybe?
did, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Well, he did at least fielded him on his team. I know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
that was the kind of like the weak spot for him, and I don't care how bad Josh Allen looks one week, he could put up 6 touchdowns and run three of them in. So, like he did 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. And you have
Dude.
that next to Christian McCaffrey, who is going to put up 30 points every week. It's
And Pickens, who's a top five receiver, and Devontae Adams, who scores 1 to 2 touchdowns every single week. Dude,
yeah,
Josh
I think
Allen
it's
last
12
week
already.
just
Yeah.
I think, and in my brain, I'm like, oh, like, yeah, Josh Allen down week, like, maybe the luster's off. No, he just played the best defense in the NFL. He
Correct.
has nothing at receiver. And like, look at they now with Buffalo, the thing with
Tough,
Buffalo is that
tough
could make
16-17,
Josh,
but
yeah, that could make Josh Allen like even better in the playoffs is like he's not going to sit because they have to win because they have to make the playoffs
mhm.
and
Yep.
they're probably not going to win the division. So,
Yep. Not sure.
oh man, and
Yeah.
we'll get it with my matchup. But why I think my matchup with Rick is so big is because two is going to play Ryan, and
Yeah. Ryan's definitely not a team most managers say they want to
yeah,
face. And he's got some depth. I will say that. I mean, not
yep,
not crazy depth behind it, but
and
he's
another
got some
thing we
players.
haven't even said, Bucky Irving's probably healthy,
Just got back. Yeah.
so
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
yeah, but
Yeah. No,
we'll
I mean
move, yeah,
Ryan's got a wagon. I mean, he's
yeah, good, real good team.
not gonna be hard. Slim pickings with these managers.
We can speed run through these.
Yeah. I mean, not much. I'm gonna just say Rashi Rice. That's all I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it's
say.
his keeper. Yeah.
I mean, that there's really nothing to say. And he's had one of the more disappointing years, maybe the most disappointing year he's ever had in fantasy. I don't know his history with other leagues, but um, at least in the other league, he's never had a record like this. And I mean, even last week he puts up 143, and it's not even can't even you run into
Yeah.
a 55 spot from Gibbs and another 40 or whatever he had from JSN, so 30 whatever. So yeah, just a really unfortunate season. Never really got off the ground running with the Washington Commanders injuries and AJ
Yep.
Brown starting slow. Derrick Henry wasn't the same way. We can go on and on. So yeah, Rashi
Yep.
Rice has been a super bright spot. You obviously
Yep.
being a Mahomes owner. Just yeah, Rashi Rice is great. I mean, you think
Yeah.
sometimes watching some of the things he does just underneath, you're like, they couldn't figure out a guy to do what Rashi Rice did while he was
It's
out. It's not like he's not
it's
explosive.
so funny. It's so funny that you said that because I legitimately I heard that like yesterday somewhere where it's like
Oh yeah,
he's
that's
just
hilarious. It's
like,
true
and
though.
I'm just like you're seeing it too because like it's really funny because like he's just open over the middle and you're just like, why can't other teams do this with other players and why couldn't the Chiefs do this with literally anyone else? Because like you said, he's not like a
Just
ridiculous athlete. He's not like huge. He's like,
no.
I don't know, probably like he's probably what, like 6'1", 200.
6'2". Yeah, like yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't. He looks like relatively explosive.
Good,
He's not like super fast,
awesome player.
but he's yeah, he
Yeah,
catches everything. I mean, he's so reliable for Mahomes. Like
yeah,
he makes the plays when he needs to. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Like I watched this. I'm like, like this is what they were like. It's not Tyreek Hill. Like yeah, he's good. He's a good player. He's definitely good. But
yeah. He's
they
awesome.
you can't duplicate Tyreek Hill's speed. But like a
Yeah,
crossing route, like I don't know. But yeah, I think Rashi
yeah,
Rice has been. I mean, I got Andy this week, which kind of sucks. I feel like he's kind of maybe getting a little momentum, with some of his players. So we'll see what happens this week. But yeah,
yep,
yeah, it's just tough year from the plantation. But
yep.
he's got to stay with it. He's only one game up on this old
He
11
can. I mean, it can
loss
get locked
team.
up this week. So
Oh, that's true. Yeah, yeah, I didn't think about it from that point. Yeah, 11 straight. This is it's unbelievable. I've never seen a team lose 11 straight games. It's you almost have to purposely try to lose 11 straight games. I mean, it's and I feel it feels nice to see those texts from Steve saying, if I did this, if I would have done that. Steve can't get out of his own way this year, and he's making every wrong decision. And I love it. I'm soaking it up because this is, I mean, 1-11. This guy, and he's got, I mean, London may be done for at least the fantasy season for him.
yeah,
Kamara,
probably.
done. I mean, this is his lineup. He's got to go with double tight end.
Never a
That's
place you want to be when you're 1-11, man.
not when you're scraping the bottom for a W. Yeah. Yeah. I guess the stat line was the year that Sammy got kicked out was the worst record. I think that was what we
Yeah.
came up with. God, this he's coming down to it, man. And I
Was he winless? Was he winless that year? Because Steve, technically, if he wins one win, if he gets one win, and Sammy had one win, Steve will have had more losses because there's one extra week in the fantasy
that is
season.
true. That is true. Yeah, I mean, I guess
So
you're right. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that.
I will say Steve is thankful that he has two pretty solid keeper options for next year.
Two
I think
rooks.
he's got Tyler Warren in the seventh round, and then I think he took Quinshon Judkins in like the 10th or the 11th,
Yeah,
maybe.
this is late. Yeah. Yep.
So, he's got that, but I'm thankful that he can't keep both, and one of
It's true.
them are available. And it kind of sucks that it sort of like kind of wasted these years with those two because he's going to lose one. But yeah, man. I mean, I got nothing to add.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a rough
I
season.
gotta say he'd be thankful that there's another manager with only two wins. I mean, that's about the only thing that he could
Yeah,
be thankful
yeah,
for. Because I mean, other
yeah.
than
True.
that, I mean, if you're 1-12, I mean, you're
Oof.
there's typically no hope of you not coming in last place. And somehow there's like
Right.
a whatever percentage the mathematicians will put on it. But yeah, he somehow could, in theory, not finish last, which is insane.
Yeah,
Well, that was great. That was a nice little
yeah,
rundown, and we kind of know the rosters. We know where everyone's at. Let's get into
yeah. Let's
matchups.
let's get in the matchups. Let's make some picks, and then we'll
All tonight.
yeah, yeah.
Well, Dre,
Kick us off.
I hope this isn't the week that you clinch not last place. We'll say that because Daddy needs a win. Daddy needs a win bad.
G, talk through your team. I gotta run upstairs quick.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I'll be
All right,
back
I'm
in
good.
2 minutes.
No worries. I'll keep the preview going while you're gone. Yeah, so I got to play. This is my lineup. This is my lineup. There's nothing to think about. Got Stafford, Jefferson, St. Brown, Jalen Warren. Even if Kenny Walker, for some reason, with this little glute injury, doesn't play, I have Charbonnet on the back burner. And like I said earlier, I got to make a decision if I'm going to play. Most likely roll this lineup up, but do I sit Justin Jefferson? Do I have to sit potentially Emeka Ibuka. Those decisions need to be made by tomorrow, which probably won't make those changes, but we'll see. We'll see. Time will tell tomorrow how I'm feeling, how froggy I'm feeling, and really nothing on Andre's side. I think Andre is going to be as straightforward can be with this lineup. I mean, we got some good matchups. I mean, Derrick Henry scares the shit out of me tomorrow night. Rashee Rice scares the shit out of me tomorrow. AJ Brown, I don't know. I mean, Chicago's been kind of formidable, but they're kind of squeaky wheel a little bit there, and he's kind of getting right a little bit right now, which is not good for me. And then Myers, I don't know. I gotta figure out the Brian Thomas situation, but he scored last week. Yeah, we'll see. Tennessee, good matchup there. Uh man, this is gonna be tight, man. If my one of my or two of my receivers have duds like Justin Jefferson and Ibuka, I'm in deep shit. So kind of gonna lean me, but it's uh it's a tight one here. It is gonna be a tight one. We're gonna have to wait for Sny to get back for his predictions. I'm gonna go myself, but like I said, oof, God, look at some of these matchups, man. Tiburon plays the Bastards. What a massive week this is gonna be. Let me see. Hampton's in the IR spot. Let's see what's going on here. Back at practice, limited. He should be available. Let's see. Versus, I don't know who else he'd play. I guess Harvey against Washington. Yeah, what's McLaurin doing? Limited. Yeah, I don't think McLaurin's gonna play. Who would he play? Madison. Oh, great bench options. I'll say that. And I go with Tiburon here. I mean, McLaurin's probably not going to play this, so I guess he's going to have to play somebody else. Addison, maybe. Not great options. I'll say that. You can at least slot Harvey in. Well, going
Yeah,
back
we're
to me,
back.
Sny, we kind of just
Yep.
ran through it. I mean, Andy's lineup is Andy's lineup. He doesn't really have much change. I don't really think I'm going to make too much changes. I mean, I could get real cute if I want to and talk myself out of starting Justin Jefferson or Mecca Buka, depending on the health of Baker there potentially. I just feel like Arizona still might be a shootout, but hopefully Baker plays. AC
Yeah.
AC
Oh yeah.
sprain. I don't know. He didn't practice today, but it's Wednesday.
Is
Um,
it is it his throwing shoulder?
no, it's the left one. So it's kind of like
Oh,
what
okay.
Jordan Love went through, after that hit against the Giants, and like I don't know. I mean, they played for us. We played against Minnesota and kind of had it in, kind of in the bag a little bit. So they didn't really spread it out and throw it, or he was also
Right.
like handing the ball off with his right hand. It's kind of weird. I don't know,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
Baker's looked definitely more significant. I mean, he looked like he was in some serious pain by halftime on that Hail Mary throw. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I got to get cute, I got to get cute by tomorrow. That's the only problem. Like I got to play,
Right.
like I said, Christian Watson, maybe DJ Moore if I want to take either one or both of those guys out. But how do you sit Justin Jefferson? So or
Yeah.
Buka? So
Right.
probably my lineup's my lineup. And like I said, kind of while you were gone, I mean, there's a lot of guys that kind of scare me on on his team right now. I mean, AJ Brown's been kind of finding it. Rashee Rice gets Dallas tomorrow. Derrick
Yeah.
Henry gets Cincinnati tomorrow. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
tough. Gonna be a tough matchup. I mean, I got me slightly, but two out of my three
Yeah.
receivers have a down week like they've been. I'm kind of screwed, and
Yeah.
I don't, I don't necessarily love Justin Jefferson at Seattle with Max Brosmer. Is that who their backup was?
Max Brosmer from Minnesota. Though then again, it honestly
Can't be
cannot be
worse.
worse.
No, no, it can't.
Unless Brosmer is just like not, I mean, everything I'm about to say about what Brosmer could be, like McCarthy is. Because I was like, well, maybe unless Brosmer is like not an NFL quarterback, and I'm like, well, McCarthy isn't either. So,
Yeah, it's been
um,
rough. I got
yeah,
myself
and
by a hair, but it's gonna be tight. This is a tough one, man.
yeah,
I
I
need a
think,
win
yeah,
bad.
yeah, I think I'm gonna pick Andy.
Yeah, it's got a good lineup.
I think Brees is in a good spot. Um,
Yep.
and I think Derrick Henry could just rip through
Yeah,
Cincinnati.
I'm scared of that. Definitely scared of
And,
that.
AJ Brown's kind of coming along. Jacoby Brissett's going to chuck it. And,
Yeah.
Rashee Rice is there. And then who knows, like with Jacksonville, like who knows? I guess Brian Thomas is going to play, but like, I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
was
Who
just saying
knows? And
that. Like, I don't
I
know.
think an X factor could be Cleveland at home against San Francisco if they can get sacks, and if it's like windy, maybe they get a fumble, and it's
I
going to
mean,
be a lower scoring game. So
pretty pretty just threw 3 picks and a half. So yeah, it's yeah,
yeah,
it could be rough. I shelled out a little fab on New Orleans. I like New Orleans. I mean, not this week as
hmm
much, but they have some juicy matchups coming up. So, and there's just not a lot of good defenses like, or even defenses
and
available. So,
also let's get Kenneth Walker in the end zone. Who's been he's and he,
God,
Kenneth Walker has
he
been
looks
kind of coming
good.
along recently.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, this glute injury I think is pretty minor. I mean, he played last week.
mm,
Yeah, I mean, it has looked better. I'll say that.
yeah,
So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I do like Jalen Warren against Buffalo, especially if Rodgers is back, which I think he's going to be back this week.
sure.
It certainly helps the game a little bit. So, and Jake Ferguson, I don't know why I even put Pitts in last week. I mean, Pitts is super disappointing in a smash matchup, I thought, but yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, we'll see. Tomorrow's gonna get. I have a lot of players tomorrow too, so we'll see.
yeah.
This I didn't realize. I was just getting to this before you got back. I mean, Tiburon and the Bastards. This is gonna be this is a
That's a
big
good
matchup.
matchup.
Yeah, I mean the projections are lopsided because they still have Hampton at 0,
Right.
um, which I guess I mean
Yeah,
he's not technically off of. I mean he's not activated yet, so we'll
yeah.
see what
So,
happens there. But
so the line's probably like a pick because
yeah, Harvey's got 14.
assuming,
Well,
yeah, if he
yeah,
puts Harvey in,
yeah,
then he's projected to win, and if Hampton's playing, then he's probably going to have like 12 and a half projected, 13 probably. Um,
yeah. Wilson's projections probably takes a little bit of a dip, possibly if Harrison plays, which I think he's going to. Just because they said
okay,
most of those, there was someone, whatever thing I was listening to was saying like most of like the appendicitis or whatever, in surgery, usually players only miss a week or two, and he's missed two, so I think
yeah,
he'll
he should
probably be
be good.
back. Adversely, I mean, Tiburon doesn't really have much to play if McLaurin doesn't play, which I mean, I don't necessarily know if McLaurin's going to play this week. I mean, Bashal Tootin, maybe. I mean, Kincaid, maybe. I mean,
Maybe
you know,
Kincaid. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, you can't play Jordan Addison or George. So,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, we'll see who he throws in that flex spot. I mean, the rest of his lineup looks obviously pretty good. I mean,
yeah,
I think there's Josh Allen's going to come out flaming this week. He's going to
yeah,
be so pissed.
yeah. I like Ryan.
I
I
got
like Ryan to
Tiburon.
keep it rolling. Yeah,
Yeah, me too. Me too. And part of me, part of me is almost rooting for Ryan to get in those top 6 spots from a points perspective to see if I
for
can,
sure.
you know, hopefully claim that last, that vaunted 7 spot. But yeah, see what happens. Damn, I didn't really look at any of these until now. So I mean, Nils at 6 and 6
Me either, really.
plays the Goose at 7. This is gonna shake the league up this week. I like it.
Yep.
I like it a lot. Um, Damn, projections are a little lopsided to start. God, seeing a lineup with Tajay Spears and Ricky Pearsall, tough. That's a tough spot.
And Brenton Strange.
The strange world. He had a good week though. I mean, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he's a good tight end.
Dude, he's Penn State. Brent Strange.
Yeah, so Tyler, so that was a big. I'm going to take this on a little bit of a tangent, but this is a
Please
big
do.
talking point for Tyler Warren coming out of Penn State. Because there was talk on the Jets taking him at 7, and I think if the Raiders would have taken Membo, they Jets would have taken Tyler Warren. Um, so Tyler Warren, everyone's like, oh, why didn't he break out until his senior year of college? And he doesn't have any early production. I was like, well, he was behind 4 NFL starters his entire year at Penn State. His freshman year, he was behind Pat Fryermuth. His second year, he was behind
Good point.
who the fuck else is he behind? I'm forgetting one. Third year was behind Brenton Strange. Fourth year was behind Theo Johnson. So
Oh my
he's been,
God.
yeah,
Penn State
he's
is like
been
a tight end university. They have
yeah. So
good tight ends.
yeah, it was like Fryermuth, it was Brenton Strange and Theo Johnson. He was behind. So
Good
yeah,
list.
and I think there was some tight end who transferred out of Penn State who's in the NFL too. I can't remember, but yeah. So that was just kind of a tangent on Brenton Strange. So he is a legit
I like
like
it.
good starting tight end.
No, yeah. I mean,
But
I think we kind of made fun of just from the name standpoint last year when he kind of broke onto the scene, but I mean, he's arguably their steadiest receiver in Jacksonville, which is kind of crazy to say. I mean, he led the
And
team last week.
yep. And this offseason, prior to draft season, I know Brenton Strange was like a tight end that I was kind of considering late. And I mean, and I when I drafted Hunter Henry, he was like in my thought process because I knew he was in like that range where he's like a late round tight end, maybe like a late breakout kind of season guy. But like their GM loves Brenton Strange. Like in his pressers and stuff, he was talking about Brenton Strange when he's talking about the offense. Liam Cohen did too. So like I could very well see like Brenton Strange having like a pretty solid run as like a low end tight end one. Um, so I like that pickup from Nils and I like the play in Tennessee. But I mean,
Gotta go geese here.
I still think I'm going to go with
It's too
Aaron.
well rounded.
Yeah, and I, I mean, Achan can. I think Achan and Waddle can carry it, but I really don't like Nico to get to that number, 16 and a half. Like he's like
It's
I'm
true.
almost positive that like Sauce Gardner is probably going to like travel with him. So don't
Pierce
love
on
that.
11.
Yeah, I don't love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I'm just
So
saying, like I agree with you. I just think, to your point, there's definitely some good pieces on Nils' lineup this week. But yeah, the Tajay Spears thing maybe there's a garbage time look. I don't know, but Pearsall 11, and yeah, it's just I don't think there's enough
yeah,
points to be made up, just
right.
based off of what he's playing against. It's going to be a big
And
big shift.
I do think if I think if Dart's cleared, I assume Aaron would play Dart over Purdy in
Purdy,
Cleveland.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Why not
Right?
get the
He is
running?
because
Yep,
he am I did I
he does.
totally spate
No,
he
no,
has Dart? Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I thought he had
I'll
Dart.
go.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll go back. I'm almost.
Yeah,
I'm
like
fairly
I'm
positive.
99.9 that he has Dart.
Yeah,
I just wanted to
there he
make
is.
sure.
Yep.
I didn't want to talk out of turn.
No, no, no. Definitely,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree with you.
Yeah.
Damn,
If he's where he's at, like if Dart's starting, you play him.
Phil and Fink, a matchup this week. It's a big one for Fink. Damn. All right, let's take a look at this.
The 8-4 Colombian white with a new random logo and Khalil Shakir and Troy Franklin as his wide receiver 1 and 2. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? He's been the Cinderella story all year. This is
The
gonna be a good one
Cinderella
too.
story that dude, he jumped out. He was like 7-1 at one
Yeah,
point,
I mean,
wasn't he? Was he like
yeah, I
six and
mean,
one?
his points probably won't realistic unless something crazy happens in the last 2 weeks. I mean, even if he gets down to 8-6, I mean, you guys
He should
basically
be in. Yeah,
arguably
he should be
clinched
in.
both, you and him, I should say, from a record standpoint too. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, I
yeah.
mean, looking at it
Phil
here,
should
I
be
mean,
in.
yeah, I mean, he's got some good matchups. I'll say that.
It's man.
And
I
he's got
think
some decent
it's
ones. Saquon's going to be a tough. That Friday game's going to be huge for him. Rome and Saquon. He's gonna need both those guys to go off because Rome's been solid, but like they're not just like no consistency. Yeah, there's some dud weeks
yeah,
too.
he's been pretty
Started
rough.
so hot too.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're an offense that just throws it around too. So you just never know, man.
It's like, dude, they're an offense like the Packers. They're an offense like
Yep,
the
very
frickin',
much so.
outside of Josh Jacobs getting all this, they're an offense like Denver where you never know what the fuck they're gonna do every week. They
Oh
just
yeah,
kind of like throw it to whoever. So yeah,
man, it's kind of a coin flip. It's still on paper. This is like a coin flip. I'm gonna lean Colombian White. Um, I just think the three RBs are. I mean, DeAndre Swift maybe not so much, but like Bijan against the Jets, nice matchup. Kyron Williams against
yeah.
Carolina. I like Miami's D this week.
I like Goddard too.
Me too. Yep,
Against
me too.
Chicago. Chicago might be
Nice little
down like
stack.
two. Yeah, Chicago might be down to like two starting linebackers too. So like,
Yeah,
yeah,
they were out
I
three of them
and I
last week.
think and I do. It's funny enough. I think both of Phil's receivers are in really good spots. Like I
They
think
are.
Troy
They
Franklin
are.
can get there against Washington. I think he can score, and I think Khalil Shakir can just like rip up the middle of Pittsburgh's defense. So
Yeah, I like
yeah, I
Colombian
think
White this week.
yeah, me too. And I think B Johnson. I know the Jets defense has been playing better recently. But they're yeah, Bijan's the Jets have been better at tackling, but I Bijan has been he's going to get there in the passing game against the Jets. I'll say that.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, tough weekend, but that's where I got it. Arby's could put the could potentially put the last beef and cheddar in the fantasy football team this week, which would be
Oh my God, he's got to eat
poetic
at minimum 11. Oh my God,
poetic justice if Arby's does it for him this week. That'd be fun.
that would
Um,
that would be it would be.
I mean, even though the Devin Neal, I mean, both guys have some, I guess, questionable flex plays. I mean, Devin Neal coming in, you would think
Is
probably should get some most of the. I mean, he got a lot of the passing work. I'll say that.
right off the bat, I have to say this is Jamar Chase's 25.7 one of is that the highest projected point total you've seen from a non-quarterback? It feels
That's
like it's
insane.
it
Yeah.
feels like it's the highest I've seen in a while. I mean,
Do they
I'm
play?
sure
Do they play
I'm
Baltimore
sure
yet? Oh no, they get them twice in the next 3 weeks. Okay,
I'm sure McCaffrey maybe like 1 to 2 years
that's true.
ago was at like at home against like the fucking Cardinals when they couldn't stop anybody. Like I'm sure McCaffrey was up near 25, but like 25 is a whopping projection.
Yeah, I
And
mean, I
it's
don't.
like rightfully so. I'm just saying
Yeah,
like
with
that's just
no
a
Higgins,
jarring
I guess
number.
they're just. I mean, Joe Burrow back, I guess too, just
Right. Yeah,
peppering
yeah,
his
yeah.
player. Yeah,
I don't think it's unwarranted. It's
yeah, you're
that's
right
one of
though.
the largest projections I've seen.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. I think Ben's got a great lineup this week.
Me too. Me too.
Just, I mean, you got the Rams D too. I was just like kind of scrolling through. I mean, I like
Oh,
everything. Harold Fanning, that was an interesting trade by you guys.
Harold Fannin could be a low key
Harold
good
Fanning's just been
play.
passed around, but he's looking like their guy in
I've
Cleveland.
traded Harold Fannin twice.
Yeah, I
I've
was gonna say. I mean, I feel like
well
he's
no,
been on like
he
four teams.
I've traded him twice and I traded for him once.
It's insane. That's crazy. Yeah,
So,
I mean, it's good. I mean, Steve, good luck. I just don't see. There's no one
yeah,
on his team that I look at that's like
no.
gonna go off. I
Brutal
mean, maybe
spots too.
McConkey. Yeah, like maybe
Like
McConkey gets
brutal
back,
spots.
but
Like Aaron Jones against Seattle. Like
Seattle with Brosmer, no, you're not gonna
yeah,
get them.
yeah,
Seattle's so good. Seattle's defense is insane.
I know.
Their defensive line is. It's. I would say
Yeah.
they probably the best defensive line. I mean, not besides edge rushers, obviously. I mean, yeah, Parsons, whatever. But um,
Well, yeah.
I mean, they have
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
like run defensive wise, like they're crazy.
They swarm to the ball and
Yeah,
tackle, and I
yeah,
like that. Like they, that's why, like, dude, every week for me, they have like six tackles for losses and like three and outs. So like
yeah.
they're
That's another
dude, their
thing.
floor
Well, I
is
don't want to go
like
on tangent on
7 points a
either,
game.
but
Yeah. We'll get
the
to that when you get
defensive
to me.
scoring is rough, dude. Like, I just that's another reason why I like some like I wouldn't say it's we definitely made the change to make it not as crazy, which is good, but same time, it is tough to just to predict. I mean, tackles for losses, three and outs. Like,
It's tough to
I don't know.
gauge. There's two ways to play it. You can either have one of the best defenses in the league where the floor is going to be there, like I have with Seattle and like
True.
with Houston and Denver and them and like New England, to a certain extent, and like the Rams have a really good D like that. Or you can just lean into and
Turnovers.
try to project game script
Yeah.
and what
Yeah.
quarterback you're playing. So, I mean, and that was kind of the way it was before, but we can have a discussion in the offseason about
Yeah. Yeah.
defensive points. But yeah, I mean, I think Ben's in a really good spot to keep it rolling.
Matchup of the week for sure. Not because you're on the pod, but yeah,
How
we mentioned
is this?
one versus two.
Does that pull up as the matchup of the week, like on Yahoo?
I don't know. I don't. I
It ha it has
probably
to.
it has to be right. Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, I don't. Can we scroll
Yeah, it
down? It doesn't
is.
highlight it here.
Yeah,
Oh, there it is.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh wait, it
yeah.
doesn't show it on here.
Here, it's on.
Well, it's showing yours. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, matchup of the week. Yeah,
Damn, this is big for the Iron Man. Josh Jacobs.
I
It's gonna be interesting how they're gonna use him tomorrow. I hope he's. We're gonna need him. We're gonna need
I think
every
yeah,
ounce of him tomorrow.
I think the game this week was partially why he sat last week.
100%, 100%. And they play the Bears next week. Not to say we don't need them because the Bears are winning our division somehow, but If
Right.
worst case scenario, we got a mini bye playing Thursday, so he has 10 days
Yeah.
basically to get healthy.
And I don't think this is going to be a normal Josh Jacobs. He gets close to 20 carries. Like I definitely
No,
think Emmanuel Wilson showed last week. He's a good back, very
they'll
capable
use
of
both. Yeah,
carrying of taking some touches away from Jacobs and like him carrying the mail for like 2, 3 series here and there. So um
yeah.
it's actually funny that so the last 2 weeks before this week, I have been projected for 130 plus. I have barely scored over. And if I would have played T Mac in week 11, I would have put up 130. But I have failed to hit that projection. So if we're going based on trends, it's not
Yeah.
the best trend, me being projected that much. Especially, some of my
I
guys
like
like
your
James.
lineup, man. I like your lineup though, dude. I
Yeah.
mean, Jameson Williams, yeah, that if he doesn't score, I don't think he gets a 14, but like,
Who knows, man? Like, honest, like,
yeah.
truly, who
But
knows with Jameson
everyone else,
Williams?
I mean, yeah, and Jacobs too, I guess you can say. I mean, just because like, you don't know that split between him and Wilson, and to your point, I mean, they gave up a ton. I mean, they gave up a little bit on the ground, but I mean, Winston threw for like 350
Yeah.
against. So like, if they're gonna beat the Lions, Jordan Love's gonna have to throw a little bit.
Oh
So
yeah. And I
we'll
know
see.
and I do have confidence that I do and I know Detroit has a pretty good D. Um
Yeah,
and speaking of like swarming and tackling, like they're ball hawks, like I think it could be a kind of like lower scoring game, maybe like
hmm
2016, 2017. But I mean I'm confident that when the Packers get inside the 5, like Jacobs gets the
100%.
rock.
Not even a chance.
And
Yeah,
and
they have
so
to.
like I know Jacobs is live for a touchdown, so his floor is super high. And I
Yep,
kind of think the same with Javante. I think he's in a pretty good spot. I
I was
know
gonna
like
say that.
Kansas City's pretty good against the run, but I think Javante's live for a touchdown. Maybe he gets like 14 carries for like 58 yards and a touchdown or something. Maybe
That
like
game's
two,
gonna be a
three
shootout.
catches. Yeah, I think there's going to be a
That's
lot
what
of
I
points
think.
scored,
Yeah,
and in that game script, in theory, Javante is live for a touchdown and should have a pretty good day. So I think this is a get right game for CD. Their head coach Brian, Schottenheimer
yeah,
already
saw
said
that.
we're going to pepper CD with targets, and I think Mahomes is going to could. I know Dallas's defense has been playing better, but um, like
I think he's gonna have a
I
big
think
game.
yeah. So and a low key X factor. Speaking of defense, I think Seattle can just like ruin
Yeah,
Minnesota.
I was just gonna
Like
say,
this
especially
is a
bad
bad
spot.
bad spot for Minnesota.
Brosmer, welcome to the NFL, bud.
Well, and I think the thing is too, I think if Seattle gets up like in the Cardinals game, I don't know if it'll be as lopsided as that, but if Seattle gets up like 14, 17 points, like the game's over. And like
Yeah,
it's just going to be racking up stats the way they did against Arizona. So,
yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
I like your lineup. I think I'm looking at his respectively to Ship Blizzard because
Yeah, let's go
I've
over to
looked.
his team. I mean, his team's in a really good spot too. He's got a lot of
Not, I
good
was gonna say
spots.
not in the bad, not by any means. I mean,
Mm-mm.
126. I mean, the big one's going to be Lamar. I mean, can Lamar be Lamar, and can he
Yeah.
put up some
Is
points
he?
tomorrow night? I mean, that's going to kick off his week, and if not, and he has another dud, which I don't expect him to, but you never know. He just
No.
doesn't look the same. Then it's gonna. I don't see him because I don't see John. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but against Houston in a
Right.
very, I mean, that's for, like you said earlier. I mean, AFC South is getting tight, and Houston's playing
Yeah.
for a shot at it. Their defense has been good, and
Insane.
I don't see Jonathan Taylor throwing up like a 40 spot. So,
No, 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 no.
um, yeah, it's gonna be tough. I mean, even Wendell Robinson. I mean, as much as the praise I gave him earlier in the pod, like at New England, it's a tough spot on Monday night. So, I mean,
Tough spot.
it's we'll see. We'll see what some of these matchups that he has. Stephon Diggs, I think not a bad spot either. But those are two guys going in, two receivers, I should say, playing Monday night. That I don't know. I mean, I got to pull up Diggs. I haven't really actually seen I know he's been solid. I will say that, but
He had he had
tough game
a
last week.
dud
But
last week, but
other than
he's
that,
been
he's
pretty
been good.
good. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's been a
yeah,
really good wide receiver too. And I think this could be a get right spot for Stephon Diggs. Uh,
yeah.
because I
Genty, I don't
think
love. Don't love Genty though this week.
hurt.
Yeah,
I have I know I've mentioned my work league a few times. I have Gen Z in my work league. He is maddeningly frustrating, but somehow he still puts up a lot of points. And
Let's get the
he
volume.
just yeah, he just like gets there. And he's like a high end RB2. So um
This is a tight one, man. I'm gonna lean the Iron Man, but this is gonna be a good. Should be the match for the week. This is a good one.
I think man, I don't know. I'm gonna pick Rick because
That's fair.
I think the last 2 weeks that I've played and I've been projected for so much, my players haven't hit those projections. And I think it could be something where, Lamb has a solid day, but he only has like 16 because he has,
It's
eight
true.
for 80 and doesn't score. Or like, JMO has like, 9 points, and then Javante gets like 15 and Jacobs gets 14. And then it's just kind of like I'm putting up like close to like 110, 105, 110, but then Rick, has like a couple guys that go off and he gets up to like the 131. So I like Rick this week, even though I think Genty could be in a tough spot and Kittle in Cleveland. But I think Kittle, if it's like who they're gonna throw to McCaffrey, they're gonna throw to Kittle.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's basically, especially with
that
Purdy. Yeah,
and what they did, I can't remember if it was the Carolina game, um, but they literally just get Kittle on these like little boot routes where like it's
yeah,
just play action and then Purdy rolls out and Kittle's just fucking wide open
yeah,
in the flat for like 9 yards and he's rolling. So
yeah.
yeah, I think if Lamar is 85% healthy, because I think he's probably been playing at like 70%, 75%. If
Definitely
he's like
banged up.
85, 90% healthy, like he's gonna go nuts against Cincinnati. So
That's the big one for I think that's the biggest
yeah,
I mean 25 obviously is a good projection, but if Lamar comes out and torches a little bit, late tomorrow night, I think he's definitely feeling a little bit better about his his projections and getting to that 130 mark. But yeah, this is a good one.
yep,
I mean, these are two quality
yeah,
teams that, I mean, barring something crazy, I guess, considering you haven't clinched yet, but I would say that, these are definitely two teams that are going to be in the playoffs. Obviously, Rick's in it, but
right.
yeah, yeah, this is going to be a good one. Definitely matchup of the week. Yahoo got it right.
Two and we didn't touch on McBride or T Mac.
I like both
Who
those
knows?
guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean McBride, he is in a good spot. Obviously he's like kind of matchup proof, I think. Knock on,
Yeah.
fucking knock on wood. But Tampa does have good safeties, and I think Antoine Winfield, I'm assuming he's healthy.
Yeah.
Um, and T Mac, who knows with Bryce Young, but I think they're gonna have to throw. I think they're gonna get down early and they're gonna need to throw the ball. So floor wise, I think both of those guys are pretty solid. I just wanted to like touch on T Mac because I think
He's awesome.
he's such a good player.
Yeah.
He's just
I like this kid a
mired in
lot.
such a bad spot with Bryce Young. And
Yeah.
I'm fucking pissed. I missed his blow up game. But
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, hey,
happens.
I think well, week 14's on by. Yeah, there's a couple. I guess hit
Yep.
them in what,
Yeah.
San
Them
Fran, San Fran.
and
Yeah.
New England.
Okay. Yeah. So there's three. Okay. Woof. All right. That'll be interesting to see next week what with some
Wow.
buys.
Dude, so we are rolling right in. Thanksgiving tomorrow, 3 games.
That's right, baby. Yeah. It's
We're here,
I mean,
man.
and it's funny. I mean, I guess with everyone congested, it's not really necessarily that crazy to see some of the records and the matchups this week, but it's gonna shake the hierarchy of the playoff spots. A lot of 7 and 5, 6 and 6 teams playing each other, and yeah, it's gonna you guys are up the top to figure out who's the number one seed. I mean, we're getting down to it. We're 2 weeks
We're
out.
at we're at the witching hour, as Scott
Absolutely.
Hansen would say. This is where, teams make pushes for playoffs. This is where shit gets shaked up too, because
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of I want to look back and see what happens, but like a lot of 5 seeds, like they get hot and they're
Dirk did.
the toughest out in the playoffs, and like the teams who like get in who are top seeds, like their teams fade back, and that's just what happens if a team gets like a 4 seed and they get a favorable matchup, and then
Oh yeah.
they're in really good matchups. So it's so many things can freaking happen, man. It's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's fun. I mean, it's fun that, there's essentially only two teams that are eliminated. So I mean that's the
Right.
cool part. I mean there's everyone else is in the hunt. There's arguably 10 teams that are, still vying for, I should say, 7 spots. So, yeah, it's gonna
Yep.
be cool. It starts, I mean, 3 awesome games, like we said earlier, tomorrow,
Awesome
and
slate of Thanksgiving games.
there's a lot
Yeah.
of players going, a lot of players. Just looking
Yep.
at those matchups, like everyone has at least somebody going tomorrow.
Yep. Yep. I have five.
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
3, I
you have
think. Yeah,
three?
yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one, but yeah,
Hell
well,
yeah.
happy Thanksgiving, boys.
Happy
Enjoy
Thanksgiving.
it. Yeah, we'll hopefully be back on next week. Well, actually, we have to be back on next week because I know we have the historic rivalry of Ship Blizzard and Arby's for week
Mm,
14, and I know Rick's got something up his sleeve, so we'll see what he
sick.
has in store for next week. But yeah,
Hell
so we'll
yeah.
see. Good luck to all the
Word.
managers. See you next week.
Peace, boys.